This week, Stu, Nick, Terry and I met up for a wee pedal round the wind farm in what were very cold and windy conditions.
Today we're starting up at the Heron Cafe and heading into the wind farm in a different direction. So it's absolutely freezing. Can you confirm that, Stu? Absolutely. Baltic, man. Terry's out with us today. Wow. Must be March.
Absolutely no sarcasm in your voice there.
We met a group of gravellers who were heading in the same direction, and one of the lads told us about a wee fire access road into the wind farm which we didn't know about, so we gave it a try. Thanks for the heads up, buddy. It was a great wee road in. I hadn't advertised this ride and quite a few of our regulars were busy doing other less fun things. Between that and the less than encouraging weather, the roll call was down to just 3 amigos. The turbines were certainly doing their thing, and I'd be very surprised if all 215 of them weren't producing close to their maximum 539 megawatts of power. Our route for the day was north out of the Heron Cafe before turning east into the wind farm, where we followed the spine road towards the visitor centre. We then cycled round the Lochgoyne circuit before retracing our steps. It was nice to see Terry out again, free from post-vaccination effects, various bouts of the lurgy and grandparenting duties. We came across a sizable group of horse riders which I hadn't really seen up here before. We gave them as wide a berth as possible, trying to keep pedalling as apparently the noise of your freewheel can spook them at times, and the horses don't seem to like the noise either. If you're enjoying this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. If you'd like to follow any of these routes, you can download the associated GPX files by following me on Strava at Douglas Gilligan RACC. With the combination of the high winds and PTSD from previously crashing my drone up here, I decided to keep her in the backpack for the day. We're now at just 10 sleeps till Meribel, and I didn't want to risk it and possibly jeopardise having it with me in the Alps. This is footage from one of our previous trips up here. This was a group of lads that we'd met earlier in the car park. It looked like they were doing loops of Lochgoyne and they seemed to be cracking on a bit. I was delighted to welcome Mansley 360 camera back from repair and back into the arsenal. I thoroughly recommend this action camera, with the only caveat being the vulnerability to damage of the 2 lenses which sit proud of the housing. Insta actually replaced the camera, and these shots from above Lochgoyne are all from it. The wind farm really is a great place for gravel cycling, especially for anyone who's new to gravel. The roads are in good condition and they seem to be periodically filling in the potholes. There's nothing too technical up there, and the rolling terrain certainly gives you a good workout. It's also quite pretty up there with some lovely views from what is a fairly high vantage point, looking over both Glasgow to the north and Ayrshire to the southwest. Stu seems to be going well, which should stand him in good stead for our snowboarding holiday. The wind farm is usually fairly quiet. You do come across walkers, dog walkers and runners, but it is important to remember that you can come across the occasional works vehicle, although these all drive at relatively low speeds.
What's your name, buddy?
Paul.
How you doing, Paul?
I'm good, man.
I'm just admiring his bike here. Seems to be a bit missing off his front fork. He assures me it's no trying to keep the weight down.
It's carbon as well, so it's
Cool.
It's agile, man.
It just looks a wee bit strange. I've not seen many of them, to be honest. Well, have a good one, buddy.
Aye, cheers.
Coming in from the east direction, this descent is the first one which you come across, so it is your last of 3 climbs as you make your way back. Whilst we had a fairly chilly start to the day, we weren't long heating up, but the headwinds at times were pretty brutal, especially on the section coming round Loch Goyne. We used the aforementioned fire road again to exit the wind farm rather than continuing to the Ardderfrig car park, and it provided a nice wee descent out. From joining the tarmac again, we set off along the 2 miles or so to the Heron Cafe for a welcome heat and some shelter from the biting easterly wind. Stu put the hammer down as we headed south on the road, and I got on his wheel and gratefully accepted a wee bit of shelter as we made our way back to the car park.
That's a toughie.
Terry was looking a little more tired than he usually is at the end of a ride.
Good to get here.
Totally.
Good to get back.
That's definitely nice to
We
get
said our
back.
goodbyes to Stu, who had to head off, and I got the bike in the rack before getting changed and heading off into the Heron Cafe for a bite to eat and a cup of coffee. It's a really nice airy place and they looked after as well. With a good wee pedal and the ride by the numbers, we covered 25 miles with 2,000 feet of climbing.